Welcome again to God's Nobody. It's Auntie's T-Bone once again reminding you to be kind and brave. How are you today? Well, I'm just sort of waking up. I've been awake for a while. The neighbor was slamming closet doors in here this morning at around 6:30, unzipping garment bags or whatever. Don't know why he felt the need to do that, but he did. But I'm complaining on here rather than calling the landlord. Because once you get into this kind of stuff, you can go back and forth, with your neighbor that just does nothing but breed problems. So here I am. I might be a little bit draggy because I'm a little bit tired. But it's still good to see you. I want to thank my 12th subscriber for joining last night. It's great to have you here, and I want to thank my other subscribers. I'm grateful that you are with me. Let me take a sip from my coffee here. One moment, please. Oh, the prized cup from the United States Navy. That was so long ago. Oh, man, I've got another pot brewing, too. I don't know what I'd do, man, because Java is what makes life more lava, as in hot, 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 hot. Boy, that's good. I had more than one, sorry. Here, what? Thank you again. Wanted to go ahead and teach a lesson on born psychotic or sociopathic. Comes from Psalm 58, verse 3, and it says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." Now, I felt like the Holy Spirit, when I had read this verse at one point, was basically telling me that this verse, more than anything else, applied to people that are called sociopaths or psychopaths, which I thought was really interesting because from a traditional sense of the church, it would seem to be a Bible verse that would apply to the sinful condition in general. But one of the things that I've always found interesting, and one of the things that I've always struggled with in my own faith, is the fact that people have varying levels of good or bad inside them. And that was one of the things I really couldn't get around. And it was this Bible verse I felt like that God really showed me that this applied to psychopaths and sociopaths. And of course, there are a lot of them right now in the world. And because they are so ruthless, they often rise to high levels of power. They also have very gregarious personalities, so they're hard to detect. But there is a decisive lack of empathy in such people. And I thought it was interesting. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And of course, everything is ultimately what we inherit from our relatives. The Bible clearly teaches that you can have a relative from 4 generations ago who's done something and then it affects your generation. You just inherit the problems genetically somehow, which has kind of always interested me from a scientific perspective, how that works. And there can be tendencies that you have that you don't even know about. Let me give you an interesting observation. I remember one time my brother and I and his daughters were up visiting my father in northern Minnesota. And it was interesting because the oldest daughter had gone to sleep and she had her hand thrown over her head like this when she was sleeping. And I turned to my brother and I said, "Gee, look at that. Who does that remind you of?" And of course, she was, at that point, a tiny female copy, unknowingly, of one of the sleeping positions of our father. I mean, and it was uncanny in terms of how she had the same nonverbal in terms of the arm on the head, even the expression on the face as she was sleeping was so much like my dad. I mean, it was just bizarre. It really was. But I just wanted to go ahead and teach a quick lesson on this that I think there's a lot of credence to when scientists say that sociopaths and psychopaths are born that way. And I really felt like the Holy Spirit showed me this in Psalm 58, verse 3, that that verse doesn't necessarily apply to everyone being just like absolutely confirmed as absolutely terrible. I felt like he had shown me this verse specifically in regards to psychopaths and sociopaths, and why, again, the two bowls, the bowl of goodness, the bowl of wickedness that is in every human being, and why psychopaths and sociopaths have deeper bowls on the wicked side. Until next time, this has been Auntie's T-Bone here on God's Nobody. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, comment, give me a like or a dislike. Either way, it'd be wonderful to hear from you. Until next time, I'd tell you to have a good day or a good night, but I'm probably going to come back. Goodbye now.